captained him. Why wouldn't I? Vote Elite FPL!
Confident about being Jim White's show, aren't you?
I'll go on then.
Slow sports news.
Say vote. Elite FPL.
And the Gold Award. Elite FPL.
Your team has an AI score for the next
Oh
4
yeah,
game weeks.
let's go, man. Let's go.
Yeah, Steve-O, he's a bit mean, but he means well. And I'm not going to rise to the occasion. He can bash my team as much as he wants, but I don't care. It just makes me stronger. Makes me more keen to stay above him on the tables. And I guarantee, the end of this weekend, you're going to be looking up to me, Steve-O, thinking, what am I going to have to do? What I'm going to have to do to catch him. See that, dude?
Cheers. Cheers, Jason. Thank you so much. There was our co-host, Jason, there, bragging.
Types of streams where they are covering all that lot. Oh yes.
Dreams of glory, points to chase, many leagues, it's the ultimate race, captains rise, some fall from grace, oh, the game we play, it's a ruthless space. Only the elite will win through the chaos, through the spin, break the template, they take within. Only the elite will win. Only the elite will win. Steve-O's fight tenacious, Jason's moves audacious. In our community, no sheep on display. Tactics whispered, strategy sane. The managers plot like kings and queens. Green arrow shining, red one sting. The table shifts, the standing swing. Oh,
Good evening, everybody. I hope you're doing well and have enjoyed Gameweek 6, which has been a roller coaster ride of highs and lows. Yeah, Steve-O, we're here. Oh, God, I'm not logged in. We're here to talk about the games over the weekend so far. Of course, we've got a game tomorrow night, but no, I don't have anyone playing in it. You don't. You do. Tell us who you've got in it.
Dewsbury Hall for his 1
There we
point,
go.
like the
There we
rest of the
go.
team. Well done.
It ain't gonna be 1 point, mate.
Yeah, it'll be 0.
What are you gonna need to get from Dewsbury Hall to make you satisfied?
An attack and return, an assist. An assist.
More than 3 points, essentially, I think.
Yeah, an assist. 5 points minimum.
Okay, 5 points minimum. Here we go. Hello to Clickus, FPL Foxy, Han, Milan Milic, Animations, Kevy, thank you for the subscribe. Good evening to you. Matty's here. Let's go. 72 with 1 to play. Well done, Matty. Animations, Leyland Edwards is here. All the people have had a good game week are here, Steve-O. Oh, we've got FPL double pivot in the chat. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. My fourth. Oh yeah, that was me. Someone asked me why am I wearing a West Ham shirt in the intro, and that was because I had a silly bet. My bet didn't pay off, and my forfeit was to buy a West Ham shirt with Lingard on the back. I don't even. It must have been something about Lingard won't score any goals or something for West Ham or something like that, and he ended up scoring goals. David, hello to you. Hello to Sparta. FPL Sparta's here. We've got Newcastle in the chat. Newcastle, the official Newcastle United football team YouTube chat channels in the chat. Voltamard, and Doku, or Jai Pedro and Anthony. Voltamard and Doku, mate. Doku's a gem. He is a gem. At 6.4, 6.5, absolute gem. 109 points behind number 1 in the world, says Leland. Says, I've got Grealish to play. Wow, you could be 100 points behind number 1 tomorrow night. Shakalaka Mekalaka's here. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Mako Bizot. Sushant is in the chat. AI lol. Yes, we love our AI intro. Ruler 2, that Gabriel goal was like a bullet. Yeah, I thought Pope could have been a bit more stronger. Again, we'll talk about the games. Ferguson, Andrew Ferguson, evening to you, mate. Evening, Alex Sweet. Evening, Guy. Jason, should I take the captaincy off Bruno? Jason should take the captaincy off Bruno and put it on Maguire? I don't know what you mean. Newcastle Arsenal game was like a proper game from back in the day. Yeah, it was good. It was a real fun game to watch. I'll be honest with you. Not fun if you didn't own any, like Gabriel, for example. Like that was a kick to the stomach because everyone that wildcarded and was going after the template brought Gabriel in, and unfortunately that's kicked a lot of us because it's kind of put the fire out because we had the benefit of the triple captaincy of Haaland, but all our other picks, legacy picks and other picks just kind of didn't do nothing. But of course, this game week, if you've got a player that's scoring 10 plus points and he's been brought in on a wild card, you're loving life. 58 points. FPL Foxy's on 58 points with 3 players left to play. Looking good. Yeah, not bad, mate. Above average, I'd imagine. You should end the game week. 78 with Grealish to play, says Dawson. Mr. Dawson. Noik Foot's in the chat too. 5th in the chat league. 55 points all out. All out. Yeah, that's not a great week, I'll be honest with you, mate. 85 points from Alex Sweet. Alex Sweet just seems to be doing everything right. 85 points, no triple captain. He used it, of course, and he still got 85 points. Daniel Lucas, hello to you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Right. Game week 6, Devo. Let's just be honest with you. Last night, we were loving life, with everything that came through. Only really because of one player. Everything else in our teams, I think I can speak for both of us, where nothing really happened in our teams that set our emotions running. I mean, you could say about my Doku coming through with 10 points. You could probably say that, but then I did have Dorgu get me 0. Sanchez get me 1. And then I had Cash, Reinders, Kudus, Salah and Pedro getting me 2 points. I literally had such a bad remainder of my team on Saturday. It was really Haaland and Doku that kind of pulled me through, and you've actually put it in the title. Haaland and Doku saved Jason's game week, because I can tell you now, if I'd have been like, I don't know, trying to be clever and captain someone else, it could have been like, I knew someone that captained Pedro, for example. I saw a screenshot of that. Now that is maverick, but that's also very risky. It's almost stupid. Like, I wouldn't be doing that on a game week where Haaland's got such a fixture. It's kind of standout fixture. But, we haven't got a time machine, Steve-O, but Haaland did come through on the triple captaincy. Have you got any thoughts you want to share?
Yeah, after it started so well with the triple captaincy, a lot of hope was on the Tottenham game. And once I saw Porro was benched, I just rolled my eyes. And then when I saw Wolves had scored, I rolled my eyes. When I saw Kudus had scored, I rolled my eyes. Saw it was offside, I rolled my eyes, because I kind of want you to do well, because you are doing very well in FPL this year, like exceptionally well. And it's just gone downhill since. It's been downhill since that Nottingham, well, really since 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Chris Wood / Nottingham Forest are fucking useless. And I'm glad he's gone. He's now gone out of my team. And then move on to the Tottenham game. And I was really, really hoping, you know what, Tottenham to win this to 0. I've got double Spurs defence. I can actually make up a bit of ground here. We know what happened there. And then you move into today's games. Oh, Tyrone Mings could get a clean sheet against Fulham. Oh, he gets taken off after 32 fucking minutes. Like, just fuck off. And then we move into the Newcastle game, which I had zero interest in other than betting, which went well, by the way. I'm in profit. That's the main thing, because I advocate gambling. And that went really well. Other than that, once I saw Gabriel score, I was happy from the fact that Arsenal won, because I want them to do really well this year, if not win the title. Yeah, it's just...
If you moved off Liverpool now and onto an Arsenal...
No, not at all. It's just the fact that I just want to see... It's more Man City. I don't want Man City winning. I fucking hate them. And I don't want them to win. So I just want to make sure that their rivals, i.e. Arsenal, Liverpool, and to an extent Chelsea, although they're not in it anymore, I want them to do really, really well. And it's just gone from a really, really high level of excitement to... let's get real here. It's true though, isn't it, Jace? You're one of the few people, I think, that's actually had a player from an attacking standpoint other than Semenyo come through in Doku. Let's not beat about the bush here. That Doku pick in a -4, which you could have had Kudus come through with a goal as well.
Yes.
That would have been fucking huge. You got rid of King and Gakpo. Gakpo didn't play. Josh King got 1 point.
He came on at half time.
Yeah, but he got 1 point. So 2 points versus 10 for Doku. I think it was 10, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And 2 for Kudos. So 12 points. You're up by 8 points. And this is the Jason that did so well back in 2020, 2021 when you were fucking smashing it. Or 2019, whatever. When you were destroying it. Because you were taking hits sensibly and they were paying off. And
well, I don't know. I did a few -16s, if I remember.
Still paid off.
They paid off, but yeah. Yeah, I do feel good about the Doku pick. It did really feel good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised that Foden finished that game without anything. I know that's a bit bitter for yourself, because I do go back to what I said, and I did say that I felt that Foden was the man. I want to say a massive thank you to Christian Ashley for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Get yourself in the Discord. A link is in the description. Discord.gg/Elite FPL. And get yourself linked up. You get full access to the channels. Yeah, I feel that Foden was unlucky in that game to not get anything.
What was it? According to D Unit, he was one toe away from the own goal. Couldn't make it up.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought it was Foden that scored. Like on the first time I saw the goal, I was like, oh God, Doku to Foden. Oh my God. And then I saw that Foden he would have scored, but Esteve just got there first. So for me, the emotions of this game week have been, this is pure emotion. So I wanted to capitalize on certain transfers early and decided I was going to hit the wild card. Even though my team, which is on screen in front of me, even though my team is actually okay. Okay, you could argue Dorgu needs to go. Sanchez hasn't been very good. Pedro's a very heavily owned player that can stay in for a few more weeks, but certainly I didn't need to wildcard. And I'll be honest with you, I wildcarded for one reason. And that was to get in Arsenal assets, because I didn't have any Arsenal assets. Now, in hindsight, I think that I may have been a bit hasty on that decision, but
Hold on. Just backtrack a minute here. When did you press the wildcard button?
Last night.
At what time?
Oh.
Was it after the Tottenham game or before?
It was after the Tottenham game.
So let's just say 10 o'clock then.
So I reacted to the so that's a very good point. Because of Tottenham, the game was so drab. I
wouldn't go that far.
I decided that I would be getting rid of. I just wanted to get rid of my Tottenham player, even though Kudus is a very good player. I just think that I just don't feel like I can trust Tottenham. I'll be honest with you, I just don't feel I can. And again, I overreacted probably without sleeping on it. I just hit the wildcard button and I started tinkering around with my team and started looking at what I could do in my team. And then at first I was like, well, Liverpool, this is a problem with Liverpool. If we're going to have a little bit like minute rotation here with the likes of Isaac, Ekitike, Gakpo, Wirtz, and then you got Chiesa as well is coming into the mix. You got European football as well. And it's like, where does everything fit in? Just because Isaac costs so much money, does he just guarantee a start? Even though Ekitike, in my opinion, is actually better acclimatized in that team. He hit the ground running and looks more naturally familiar with his teammates and seems to be doing everything right. I'm not saying Isaac won't. I just think that off form, you don't just start benching Ekitike for no reason. Just because he got a red card in the cup. So I was thinking about this and I was thinking, like, what do I want to do in my team? So I had a few different ideas in my head. Now, the ideas in my head were either to pick Ekitike, and this is crazy because I was thinking, I'll pick Ekitike and pick Isaac in my front three and have Haaland, Ekitike and Isaac and build a team around. I know this is mad. This is mad, right? This is one of the ideas in my head. And then I had this idea of like, well, I watched that Palace, the way that Palace played, and I was just like, you know what? These guys are the real deal. And I really want to get on Palace. And I had Mateta anyway, pre-wildcard. But I was thinking, looking at Gay as an option in defence. And then I started looking into the defence and thinking, you know what? This season, we're blessed, Steve-O. We are blessed. We are blessed with a defence which you don't have to go fully high budget. You don't have to be getting 6 million plus defenders in your team to get good DEFCON points, good threatening, attacking points. The likes of Senesi, Gay, Calafiori as well was another one that was been bandied around in Hangouts. And of course, he got subbed off earlier today in the game, but he still got 60 minutes, I believe. But the point I'm trying to make is that, and obviously Raya, you could go with a Raya goalkeeper or Donnarumma goalkeeper with freeing up the money that you'd have in Salah. So this is the thing. So because I hit the wildcard button, I feel the need to get rid of Salah. He's not been playing in a position that I feel that he's going to be getting naturally goals in games apart from the odd penalty. He's quite isolated on the right-hand side. And I think this whole Salah being the star man of the show is kind of over now, and I think we've now transitioned into the whole Salah is the playmaker on the right hand side that looks to release the midfield, other midfielders, more central midfielders and attackers, and again, 14.5 million on a player that you may not be captaining every week. Can you justify that, especially when there's other players doing much better than him, and more consistent than him around? Like look at Semenyo, for a start, and again some names like Minter as well for Brighton is another one that I really like the look of. It's been mentioned in the Hangouts last night. Shout out to the Hangouts crew, because it was a really good discussion I had with them last night. And you're going to literally, you're going to roll your eyes, because I always fall into this trap of a Bruno Fernandes trap. Season, again, if I'm on a wild card and looking at that Sunderland fixture, I would be tempted with Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, he had a bad... If he had scored the penalty, I think more people would be jumping on him. But because of that miss, I think people are just like, get him gone, or just they're not going to look at him. But I think that Bruno Fernandes could still be a good choice for 9 million, as mad as it sounds on a wildcard. So yeah, let me just bring my team up. This is my wildcard team, and I'll read some of the...
Hold on. I don't even know what your wildcard team is.
No, you don't know. You don't know. No. So we got some people here. I was going to read some of the comments there. Triple Captain Haaland, yeah. Like and subscribe, and don't forget to vote in the FCAs for Elite FPL, says Leland. Thanks so much. Yep. If you want to do that, you can do that in the description. Don't touch Isaac with the barge posters animations. I'm happy with 75 points for Carl. We might be close to a Haaland permanent captain at the moment, says Shaka Leka. Absolutely. The obviously injury to Palmer has affected Chelsea, I do believe. Even though they got so many players in their team, I just think that Palmer in the midfield is such a galvanizing asset that unfortunately he's not available at the moment, but he should be back soon. Probably for Steve-O's wildcard. I'm looking at some of the other comments. Hello, Haggis. Right, so before I reveal, you want me to answer any questions before I reveal to you, Steve-O, what I've done?
There's no questions to answer. See where you're going with this. Look at the fixtures. So let's go for it.
Yeah, well, okay. That was what I was going to do, but then you said, hold on. So I was wondering what you were going to say. Right. Bear with me one moment while I find the thing I need to find. Right, cool. So this is my team at the moment, and this is the wild card that I set up this morning, actually. Raya in goal. Set and forget. Just play him every game.
Right, okay. So Raya's next fixtures, yep, they're turning for the good. They're brilliant.
Now, then I've got a rotational 3 of Esteve, Alderete, and Rodon. Alderete, very impressive for Sunderland. Looks really nice. Rodon, again, ticks along really well for Leeds. Can get DEFCON points. And certainly Esteve, the standout centre back, for obviously forgetting, of course, the stupid own goals.
I think there's a small shout out for Hartman. He's 4 million, isn't he? I think there's a small shout out for Hartman.
I don't know.
Attacking fullback. But Esteve is the safe option, yeah.
Yeah. So there'll be a rotation. So basically, it'll be Gehi, Senesi as my 2, and then it'll be a rotation between Esteve, Alderete, and Rodon, depending on fixtures.
Well, hold that thought. So I'm looking at it here. I've got the teams all lined up. So you're going with Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Burnley, Leeds, Sunderland. So you said set and forget is Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, right? So it's Everton and Fulham, and then you'd probably be playing. I'm going to go with Esteve versus Aston Villa.
Yes, that's correct.
Right. So in game week 8, it's then either this Alderete at home to Wolves or Esteve at home to Leeds.
Alderete.
Okay. And then you've got Crystal Palace away at Arsenal.
Yeah, but if you look what fixtures Rodon got on that one,
he's got West Ham at home.
Yeah, I'll be playing Rodon.
So you'd be playing Rodon, Senesi at home to Nottingham Forest, Esteve away to Burnley.
Yeah, I'll be playing the fixtures on them, and obviously majority of the time I'll be playing with Gaye and Senesi.
Yeah, so then in game week 10, I'll just go up to game week 10. Game week 10, Man City for Senesi, Crystal Palace at home to Brentford, and then it would probably be this Algarat at home to Everton. Yeah, I think, look, this nice little rotation that you've got there will probably work out. Yeah, I like that.
And then I've got a midfield of 4, and the midfield 4 is Saka, Semenyo, Fernandez, and Doku.
Right. So you're keeping Doku.
Yeah, I know. I feel that he's just the best on that left hand side that Pep's got. I think Pep's not got anything like that. It almost reminds me of the when Sterling was on fire for Man City, and it was like that just injection of pace. And I had last season I had a go. I always felt Doku had no end product, and he just was trying to run too much and lost the ball a lot. But this season, watching Doku play, he's actually improved his assist game, and his vision has improved in my eyes. I really do like the look of him. He's not as selfish as last season. So I'm keeping hold of Doku.
Who's your 5th midfielder, just of interest?
Reinders.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough, yeah.
So if Doku doesn't feature, then Reinders comes in anyway. Then up front, I've got Gyökeres, Haaland, and Mateta.
Gyökeres, Haaland, and you going with Mateta?
Yes, mate, yeah.
Wow.
He just looked brilliant. Very unlucky not to score. Hit the inside of the bar post. Just looked really like he looked like a very complete forward against Liverpool, and certainly with Sarr on his right hand side, I think that he's gonna get chances in every single game. And Crystal Palace actually look like they're gonna be a very formidable team. So yeah, so the Raya in goal, Esteve, Gaye, Senesi features in game week 7. Then we've got Saka, Semenyo, Fernandez. Then we've got Saka, Semenyo.
Fixtures this year. And as I stated on X earlier, I'm really bitter about the fact that my team has been hit with injuries so badly that it's forcing my hand into certain things. Like this week, it would have been perfect to have Tyrone Mings at home to Burnley. It would have been perfect, but no. So I'm going to have to be forced into playing Gudmundsson because I'm not taking a -4 to bring in another defender. So I'm being forced to bring in Gudmundsson for that particular fixture. Just play it, done, whatever. Game week 8 comes along, and my 2 mainstay defenders are going to be Gabriel, and I've got Cucurella, but I don't think I'm going to be having Cucurella. I don't think I'm going to have Chelsea defence. I'm really, 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 really tempted to go hard on Chelsea attack and go with... So my front 3 are the same as yours, apart from instead of Mateta, I've gone Pedro.
Yeah,
my midfield... Remind me of your midfield again. It was Fernandez, Saka, Semenyo... Doku. So mine, based on fixtures and rotation and everything, is Saka, Reinders, Paquetá, because I think that now Nuno has come into the foray for West Ham. They're now going to up their game, and Paquetá is one of the key players for West Ham, and I think that potentially he could really, really, especially with their fixtures are beautiful from game week 8. We've got Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, Burnley, Bournemouth. And with Nuno coming in, fantastic to kick off his managerial career because they're getting fuck all against Arsenal. And yeah, my funny you mention around the rotation pairings. So you got my mainstay of Gabriel and Cucurella, but that could change into whoever. I'm going with Rodon, Gudmundsson, and Krejci of Wolves, and having them all rotate around those 3. So it's interesting that we've got the same thought process, it's just slightly different players, Jace.
Yes.
It's generally quite interesting.
Yeah, I do feel like Gyökeres, he hasn't, I don't think, reached his potential in an Arsenal shirt yet. But they did have a
He's
tough
going to be the
game.
flat track bully. It's what all my mates are saying at work. It's what Dan's saying. It's what Ray's saying. He's not there for the likes of Newcastle, Man City, etc. It's these teams here, Jace. Look at them. West Ham at home. He's being brought in for me. Fulham away. Crystal Palace at home. Burnley, Sunderland.
I've got a couple of questions for you, Steve-O, because I know you know this whole Gabriel thing where obviously he's risen last night. He rose. He's just come off. Well, he's just got, was it 13 points? Is it? He's just, obviously people are looking at bringing him in. For me to bring him in, it would be very difficult. But certainly, do you feel like if I was to take Gyökeres out, because I've got Saka as coverage for Arsenal, and then look at maybe doing a Ekitike in for Gyökeres, just keeping a Liverpool attacker. Okay, you could argue that minutes risk, but and then downgrading Doku to Minter, and then upgrading Estev to Gabriel, and then looking at a 4.5 goalkeeper. Do you think that may be just...
You're overthinking now.
Yeah. Well, again, just to get in Gabriel, which is, is there any connecting for some stupid... I don't know why. It's been doing it for days. I don't know what's going on. But we are live still, so it's all good. But the other question would be Ekitike in for Gyökeres, and then just keep Doku. So the same midfield, just have Ekitike in for Gyökeres, and then upgrading Estev to Calafiori, and then having Petrovic instead of Raya. I mean, I don't know if that would even be worth it, to be honest with you. So it would be Calafiori instead of Estev, Petrovic instead of Raya, Ekitike instead of Gyökeres. I think, to me, I don't know if that would be worth mixing up. I think they probably end up... Again, it's the whole, do I want to keep a Liverpool asset? That's the question. Even though, what's your thoughts on Liverpool? Be honest.
Well, I've not gone with Liverpool in my wild card. Their fixtures are they're not bad, but it's just the fact that I'm not going to go over what you said about Salah because we'll be here all night, but Chelsea away, whatever we get from, and then it's Man United at home. It's not a bad fixture. Brentford away, not a bad fixture. Then Aston Villa at home. It's one of those where if you are playing the fixtures like I am, you just kind of jump off because Salah just isn't bringing in the returns that we'd expect. You mentioned the likes of Minter. I mean, Brighton's fixtures upcoming, Wolves away, not brilliant, but it's not crap. Newcastle at home, horrible. Man United away, Leeds at home, very good. It's all up and down for Brighton. But versus Salah, who, as you stated, a lot of good FPL managers, they always state that you always just want the one premium player in your team. In this specific case, it's Haaland, isn't it? And at the moment, the form suggests Haaland. I'm not bringing in Liverpool until game week. Where is it here? It's funny you mentioned Petrovic. I'm bringing him in game week 11.
A good question. So, out of the team I've given to you, so obviously Dubravka, Reinders, Aldriet, and Rodon. So I'm thinking of bench boosting, in the near future as well. Is there any players there which you think, other than maybe Doku?
Nah, Mateta.
Okay. Yeah, but again, I mean, there is Pedro, but I had Pedro, and I just don't.
They're fixtures, mate. It's the fix. Again, you're talking to me, who's really trying my hardest to stick with, and I am sticking with the plan.
Mateta's fixtures are pretty good as well. I'll be honest with you.
What?
It's like
Everton away.
Everton
That
away,
ain't-
Bournemouth. Okay, I mean, okay, Arsenal, but then after it's Brentford at home, Brighton at home.
This is the thing. You've got to think with your brain on here, and who's got, from a striker point of view, the best fixtures. I've got a clue for you, Jace. If you look at Wolves, Brighton, Sunderland, Burnley, Fulham, those next 4, if you were to have those next 3,
who from Wolves?
Strand Larsen. He's fit, he's ready, and when you look at Crystal Palace, you could then bring in Mateta in game week 10. So you have Strand Larsen for Brighton, Sunderland, Burnley. Better, based on fixtures. Just simply based on fixtures. And what happened today with Watkins and Rodgers? Oh, they had an easy fixture. They score assist. What a coincidence. And then they got Burnley next, who are going to concede a minimum of their standard 3 goals away from home. Who's probably going to be involved? Watkins and Rodgers. Fixtures breed form. And I think that's why, for me personally, know whether to go double Arsenal defence or double attack. I'm probably going to do that route. So I don't really like the striker options from game week 8. And am I really that confident on Wolves, this Krejci? Well, he's out of position. Alex Vollo's a massive, massive fan of his. They got some really good fixtures, Jay.
Who's this Krejci guy?
I'm not going to profess to know anything about him other than the fact that he plays out of position for Wolves.
Was he playing like a midfield position then?
Yeah. And this Palmer news, if depending on what the news is about Palmer, Enzo, for me, he's straight in my team. Enzo is straight in my team. If Palmer, in the international break, he's still injured, and Maresca comes out and says we really need to wait and see on him. We want to, ease him back in the team. Enzo's just a lock. I just need to get through this week. I just need to get through game week 7 to get into game week 8 to hit that wild card. But this is all, like I said, I'm sticking with the plan. It's just the fact that my injury situation has fucked me up, completely fucked me over. I've had 5 injuries, Jace. 5, including Mings today. That's hard. Yeah. That's fucking hard. And, getting through that and then getting into game week 8, which I was always planning to do the wild card in either 7 or 8. It's just worked out now that we're getting into game week 8 for the wild card. It fits nicely. I'm bringing in Gokares for Wood. That's done.
Good move. Yeah.
And that's just done. So, and the good thing is that neither player is going up or down. I just want to get through the Olympiacos game whenever Arsenal are playing it, either Tuesday or Wednesday. Get through that. And then it's, right, Gokares in. Done.
Is Bruno Fernandes a stupid pick?
No, because you're guaranteed the bordering on guaranteed. The DEFCON points, he will most likely return a double digit against Sunderland because he always seems to do really well with Man United. Well, he does against these promoted teams for whatever reason. Liverpool away is horrendous. Brighton at home. There's your 4-pointer. I think people in the chat will probably be asking you when we get onto the fixtures in a minute from this weekend, is Fernandes still going to be on penalties? Because you take the penalties away, he's not worth having it.
I mean, if it's down to him, I think he's still on them. And I think Amrim seems to just worship the ground that he stands on at the moment too. So I just don't see Mbeumo snatching penalties off him at the moment, but it all depends. If it comes from anyone, it will come from him. He would relinquish, I think, as opposed to be told. I don't think he'd be told that he's not on penalties anymore. I think he would just relinquish it to Mbeumo. If we see that in a game, then we know for definite. But I think he's a stubborn player, Bruno Fernandes. He's a selfish, stubborn player, isn't he? Let's be honest with you. I just don't see him doing that.
I think that links us into the game week fixtures. I think we've got about 20 minutes left. I think let's
do this.
talk about the fixtures. It started with your team against Brentford. I'll be honest with you. I said to you the other day, or yesterday specifically, that I'm literally in the break room and all I hear is whoever it was has pulled down and Burmo. It's a penalty for Man United. I just roll my eyes. I just said to you on the voice message, just get on with it. Just score the goal and move on. And the second I heard Sam Matterface say that Kelly has saved it, a fantastic save, I legitimately laughed my fucking head off. It was hilarious knowing that so many people own Fernandes. They're relying on this guy who's in a game in which Brentford, by all accounts, were the better team. And he's gone and done that.
I watched the game.
You watched the game. Go for it, Chase.
Just very predictable football for Manchester United. Brentford set up very well, counter-attacked very, very well. Some amazing goals. The first goal by Thiago was ridiculous. Just absolutely smashed it in. The keeper had no chance. Buendia was at fault, for the later goals. But for me, Man United have got no sense of picking out a striker in Sesko. Same problem that we had with Højlund is rolling on into Sesko. And unfortunately, Bruno Fernandes is not a CM. He's not a CM. He roams around the pitch, taking up positions of other players, sulking, throwing his arms about. And of course, he has the opportunity to salvage something from the game. At that point, a very important part of the game, to essentially bring the game level. And I think for me, he just doesn't promote captaincy ethics at all in the team. I think people just don't look at him as a role model within that team as a captain. Brentford outplayed and out strategized us. It's again another reminder that Amrim doesn't seem to have a plan. Well, he doesn't have a plan B. He doesn't have a plan B. There's only a plan A. Don't sleep on Burmo. Don't sleep on Burmo. Don't sleep on Burmo. Chucker says in the chat, oh man, don't sleep on Burmo. Yeah, listen, I don't even think I should be getting any. The thing is, I'm battling with myself about owning Bruno Fernandes. Like, I want Bruno Fernandes to do well, but I've got absolutely no real world data that's going to tell me that he's going to do well. So it's like, it's so counterproductive. And this is the whole... So this is why I did stupid things like game week 1 having Sesko in my team from straight off the bat without even seeing him play for United. I brought him in because I support Man United. I feel, I got to have someone I support. I have some Man United players in my FPL team. Because then you get the bonus of when they win and then they score, you get extra happy because you got FPL win and you've got your club winning. But no, it doesn't work like that. If you're going to win FPL, you've got to just basically remove all of that emotion. And maybe Bruno Fernandes is not the pick I need on my wildcard. And I'll have to really strongly look at that. But yeah, Man United were pants. We've got an opportunity against Sunderland at the weekend to maybe rectify it. But can I tell you that we're going to rectify it? No, there doesn't seem to be any progress at United. And I think that Amorim, as Goldbridge says, is sacking himself for his stupidity or stubbornness to keep playing Bruno Fernandes in centre mid and just essentially playing Harry Maguire, a high line with Harry Maguire and essentially just like getting outrun, outpaced. It's just seemed really weird that Yoro was benched straight from the beginning. Dorgo was all right. Dorgo looked pretty good in the majority of the game. Actually, he was unlucky not to get the assist. If Sesko had finished his header straight away, then it would have been a Dorgo assist. But unfortunately, he took 2 more attempts to score. But took his goal well, I guess, when he did get his opportunity to hit the rebound. But again, big problems up front for Man United. So yeah, 3-1 it ended.
Yeah, and then we moved on to obviously the 3 p.m. kickoffs, and there were a lot of big games involving some of the teams that are going to be involved in the championship, and like Liverpool losing to Crystal Palace, ironically having a last-minute goal scored against them, and then Chelsea losing 3-1. Of course, the main one, everybody's reliance on Haaland, triple captain against my boys Burnley.
For the majority of the game, Steve, it looked like Haaland was only going to get a simple assist, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I literally was in the waste yard shed, and I recorded a quick short with Haaland's hands on his head, distraught. I basically said words to the effect of, it's just typical that whenever we go with the meta captain, it fails. And that was happening. That was exactly what was happening. And then along comes stoppage time. And then all I hear in my headphone is, and that's the reason why you don't take Erling Haaland off. And then they're chatting about him. And then they go, and that's another reason why they don't take Haaland off. And I'm just like,
what?
It wasn't even what, it was just from a fan supporter's perspective, whatever you want to fucking call me, it's just we've just been beaten by Cardiff in the cup, and now we've performed okay against Man City, and for that to happen, it's just like the scoreline from what the B-hole end of my Burnley podcast, it didn't represent what the game should have been. If it ended 3-1, it was almost like, yeah, that's how it should have been.
But again, Burnley switching off end of the game.
It's the classic thing with Burnley where they are in this mindset of, we don't want to get battered, so we'll do anything not to concede. And they do these stupid mistakes like Hannibal, where it's, oh God, I don't want to concede a cross because it may lead to a goal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my hand out, was going to lead to a penalty. Yesterday's case, it's, I don't want whoever to score a goal, so I'm going to deliberately slide in to the point of where I'm scoring an own goal anyway. It's just frustrating, to be honest with you. Again, there are going to be other teams in the Premier League or the Champions League that are going to get scored lots more goals past them than Burnley. I was more amazed at the fact we scored, Jace. That's our, 7th, 8th goal this season. And Anthony, again, a player who cannot run, scoring again. It's extraordinary. And, I saw in certain people's live streams that is Anthony an option. No. When the fuck are you going to play him?
The goal was very fortunate, mate.
I haven't seen it. I don't watch any highlights.
It was a deflection goal. It wasn't. It was a scrappy deflection. For me, he's overperforming, and I don't think I'll be touching any Burnley.
No. You didn't say you were going to touch in Burnley, Dubravka, and at a push.
Yeah,
Stev, Hartman, whatever.
Yeah.
But look, we move on to next week, where we've got, and I've completely lost who we've got next. Oh, Aston Villa.
What do you mean today? To be completely
frank, I think next week, I think we can get a draw against Aston Villa. I really do. I don't fear Aston Villa. Don't get me wrong. Realistically, I expect Aston Villa to win because that's a fixture they're going to be targeting to win. If we put in the defensive displays that we have been doing, I think we're going to really frustrate them. And I think we could get like a 0-0, 1-1, something like that. But again, realistically, Aston Villa are going to beat us 2-3-0, 2-3-1. And of course, my defender isn't going to be playing whatsoever. So, yeah, like I stated, we knew we weren't going to be getting any points out of that. I just still get more frustrated with the fact that we conceded very, very late on to you lot and Liverpool. That's 2 points, 2 bonus points in theory dropped. And we are still on par with what we'd expect to get. I mean, if I'm looking at the fixture list for us, Aston Villa away, I expect nothing. Leeds at home, horrible fixture, but we normally do all right against them. So maybe a 0-0, 1-1, 1-0, something like that. Wolves away, again, decent fixture. So I'm expecting the next 3, anywhere between 2 and 4 points in the next 3 fixtures, which ain't going to be too bad, especially with the likes of, Wolves dropping points yesterday. West Ham, we don't know what's going to be happening with them. Nottingham Forest, we haven't even come on to them yet. They've got problems, Jace. They have got real serious problems. So,
yes, they have.
Well, we can move on to them now. Did you watch that game last night?
No, I didn't.
Well, why? It was dreadful. Dreadful. It had 0-0 written all over it until this random free kick that was given stupidly away by whoever it was. I think it was Dominguez or Milenkovic, one of the two. And a beautifully floated in cross from Xhaka. No denying it. But fucking hell, Jace. Nottingham Forest, from a creativity point of view, there is zero service to it. It's probably like Sesko and Gyökeres. Zero service whatsoever. And Chris Wood, I don't even think he's fighting off scraps. He's not even getting scraps to get. So I'm a bit hacked off that he got nothing in that game, because I was expecting him to get something. Nothing. And then we moved on to the Wolves game, where I'm not going to lie, Jace, Kudos looked like he was in for a massive haul. And then once Brennan Johnson came, where he gets switched over to the left-hand side, and he was just ill-effective. You must have been pretty gutted that he didn't return last night.
Yes, I was. And again, he got close to returning. I just think that it's just... I think I was quick to get rid of him on a wild card, but I think he's a real good price point at 6.7 for what you're getting. He's going to be playing every game, and he really is that live wire in the midfield, in attacking midfield for Spurs. So I feel a little bit disappointed I didn't get anything from him. Fixture wise, Kudos' fixtures are okay. This comes back to the whole Bruno Fernandes thing, because if I did say I didn't want Bruno Fernandes and I had the likes of Kudos instead, I could do Ollie Watkins in, because people are now saying Aston Villa, they're back. And then that would free up money to maybe get Gabriel in or Calafiori in. In fact, this is the thing when you're on a wild card. You do just go around in circles, and you do look at these picks. Calafiori would come in, or I could even do a 4.5 goalkeeper and maybe look at getting Gabriel in. But again, this is the whole roundabout, isn't it? What do you think, Steve-O, on... I mean, last week we were saying avoid Aston Villa. Obviously, they play against a poor Fulham team, and they managed to get goals. Is it too much of a knee jerk?
What's that?
Looking at targeting one.
I wouldn't
Aston
be doing a
Villa
wild card just to target to bring in an Aston Villa just to play Burnley. No.
Well, no. I wouldn't be wildcarding for it, but consideration on the wildcard.
No. Because after Burnley, it's Tottenham, Man City, Liverpool, Bournemouth. Forget it. In fact, Aston Villa's fit. This is the point, isn't it? Is that this is what Ray keeps banging on about. Just be patient. The problem with FPL is that people are so impatient that, hey presto, when you'd expect these particular players to actually perform, you've already got rid of them. And that's when they perform. You bring in these particular players for a specific reason. And then it's, I'd rather get in the informed player. And then that informed player doesn't do anything. Like Gyökeres in for Ollie Watkins. A lot of people would have done that.
It's just good to ask the question. That's all I'm saying.
Of course, yeah. But I think, like I said, this is why going on Plan FPL is a great tool, because you're able to mark out exactly where you're going with the fixtures and everything. And I think that, you have to target certain teams. Arsenal, of course, is going to be one of them. That's just a simple
Well,
fact. You're not,
my team is basically Arsenal, Aston Villa. My team is basically Arsenal, Man City, Crystal Palace, and Bournemouth. That's it. 4 teams.
one of
Arsenal,
the best
Crystal
teams in the
Palace.
league.
Yeah, that is my wild card. Is Arsenal, Man City, Crystal Palace, and Bournemouth.
And that's the thing. And even with Tottenham yesterday, you know, when Porro came on the pitch, Christ almighty, he looked good. Very, very, very threatening. Very threatening. And it's just such a shame that we didn't get to see, say, 60 minutes of him. Instead, we got 20 minutes of him. It would have been fascinating to see what he would have done, because he didn't look unfit whatsoever, i.e. needing a rest. He was ready to go. And it's so frustrating that with Tottenham, it's going to be interesting how they manage their team with the Champions League and the league fixtures, because Thomas Frank is not afraid to rotate. And I mean, Xavi Simons looked okay. I needed him to have one shot on goal and I would have won a bet. One fucking shot on goal. And he didn't even take one. Fucking useless. But he's a beautiful playmaker. He really is. Him and Kudos look fantastic. It's just a shame that Richarlison isn't a good enough striker up front. Because that was lucky for us, Jace. Richarlison not doing anything.
You mentioned earlier on in the stream Strand Larson and maybe getting him in for the nice run of fixtures. Of course,
there's 3 fixtures, yeah.
You know, the Brighton at home, the Sunderland away, the Burnley at home. Why do you decide to go Pedro over Strand Larson?
Have you seen Chelsea's fixtures? Chelsea's fixtures are ridiculous. Nottingham Forest away, Sunderland at home, Tottenham away, Wolves, Burnley. They've got goals written all over them. And Pedro is going to be guaranteed.
Just got to get rid of Liverpool. But you haven't got him in yet, have you?
No, it won't be until Gameweek 8.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so it would be. So yeah, okay, I understand. Well, I could go Mateta to Pedro. I could actually do what's Pedro 7.8. I've got 0.2 in the bank, so if I was clever, I could actually make it so I could just do a Mateta to Pedro after the Everton away game. It's an option, but again, I'm not fully set. I mean, this wild card is looking good enough. I don't need to really go through everything and second guess everything. The point was made in the chat. Just stick with Bruno. Yeah, he's a differential now, isn't he, Steve-O? Right, so we talk about Newcastle and Arsenal.
Yeah, just quickly with Aston Villa, Fulham. I mean, I didn't actually watch the game, but as expected, they won. In fact, can I just make this point for any patrons listening into this? Interestingly enough, the history is doing exceptionally well this season, really well. It expected Aston Villa to do really well against Fulham. They did. It expected it to be a really tough game between Newcastle and Arsenal, which it was until the death of it. If that had ended 1-1, Jace, that's, what was it? Newcastle have only lost once to Arsenal in the last 4, and that was 1-0. So these are their bogey teams, same as Crystal Palace, Liverpool. Crystal Palace love playing Liverpool, and Liverpool hate playing them.
Isn't it interesting as well that Sunderland were the only team so far this game week, 1 game to go, that's kept a clean sheet?
Yeah. Actually, talking of which, do you know what the history predicted in that game? 1-0 Sunderland. How many 1-0s of Sunderland have against Nottingham Forest away? That's now their 3rd or 4th one.
Okay, we'll move on to
the final game, Newcastle Arsenal.
Yeah.
Great fixture. I'd have hated to have been a fan of either team, though. I've hated to have been a fan of either team.
VAR again coming centre stage, and
what did you think of the penalty incident? I thought it was a penalty personally.
What, the handball that wasn't?
No. When Pope took out Gokares.
Oh no. Pope takes the ball first. That's how we always play. That's how we always play it in Sunday League football. Yeah, he touched the ball first.
It looked more like Gokares took it round him and then he touched the ball. I mean,
Look, if you're going to take the ball around a goalkeeper and the goalkeeper manages to get something on the ball, then as I've always been taught, then you are not going to be penalised.
I'll put it in the chat. You talk us through that. Go on, talk us through. I'll put it as a poll in the chat.
If you're one-on-one with a goalie and you go to take it around him and the goalie gets something on it that takes the ball away, you shouldn't be penalised for it. Because the advantage is always going to be with the attacker in most cases. And Gyökeres wasn't denied any goal scoring opportunity because the ball kind of just fizzed out of his control. Was it a penalty for Arsenal? How many Arsenal fans we got in the chat? Yes or no? Was it a penalty for Arsenal? It wasn't. I don't want to see penalties like that given. I mean, the goalkeeper has so much of a disadvantage in that situation, Steve. You do not realise. Like, how many times will a goalkeeper manage to get something on it? Very rarely. The one time that they do, yeah, contact may have been made after. For me, the goalkeeper did his job, saved it just about with his foot, and no penalty. I think it'd be harsh as hell to give that as a penalty, really harsh, and maybe it would set a very, very negative precedent against goalkeepers. But yeah, we got people saying no. We got 65% of people saying no on that. So yeah, cool. So that's again, if you are interested.
Great result for Arsenal in the end of the day. Brilliant result for Arsenal, and they're keeping up with Liverpool. What is the league table at the moment? I daren't go on the website just in case it crashes everything.
The league table at the moment is
Liverpool. I'm assuming
Liverpool on top, 15 points. Behind them are Arsenal on 13 points.
That's 13, is it?
Yeah, so 2 points behind, and then Crystal Palace 3 points behind on 12.
And Bournemouth, isn't it?
No, well, you got Tottenham, then Sunderland, then Bournemouth.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of all on 11 points.
Yeah,
and then you've got Man United down at 14th. But it's all good because Newcastle and Aston Villa and, oh my God, Wolves cemented at the bottom of the table. Six games played, 1 point. That's worrying. If you're a Wolves fan, you are worried right now.
They played well last night, to be fair. They actually, I think I think the result, if it had ended Tottenham, I think they deserved the goal. If it ended 1-0 to Wolves, it would have been because of their fantastic defensive display. Let's get real here. It took a last-minute Palhinha goal to secure 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs definitely deserved the score. And if it ended it did end 1-1, but if it ended 2-1, say, I don't think Wolves fans could come.
Oh, here we go.
Perfect timing to do a bit of admin, and then we can play your song as the outro.
Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll play the outro in a second, but we are featured on the FCA's Best in Content Creator for Fantasy Football. Please feel free and vote for us if you haven't already done so. You can do so by clicking the link in the description and selecting Elite FPL on the drop down. It'd be much appreciated, and it'd be really cool to go and attend the event. On other news, you can check out our social media and our Discord channel at Elite FPL on our social medias, and then discord.gg/elite-FPL. From myself and Stevo, we've had a very average, I think it started off being above average, but now it's probably, because of Gabriel, it's average game week. And we will be back on Thursday for the preview for Game Week 7. Game Week 7 is all coming through, and will we have anything to talk about?
Team is
my final team. Right, listen, enjoy the outro.
What's it called, Jace?
This song is called, which one have I chose? The Storm. The Storm calling you. The Storm calls you home. It's different. The Storm calls you home.
Make sure you hit the subscribe and like, everybody. That really does.
All right, take it easy.
Cheers, Jace.
Give him a wave.
misguided direction, leading before. What seemed so close, drifting away from familiar shores. Waves are hitting harder, keeping you off course. You've got one home, a weary mind, should never be alone. All of this was for something, bringing you a new meaning. Your shores, that they lost sight of what's beyond, holding to the wheel, just a fragment in a pond. A steady hand, battle the storm in a distant land, heading for home. Blood red eyes, finally going home. A weary mind should never be alone. All of this was for something, bringing you a new meaning. The lost don't try.